this coronavirus is hitting a lot of people in the pocket.
Small businesses especially.
Yeah, small businesses, big time.
Mm.
Fortunately, Mark Cruz. Cruiser.
Wow.
He's at
Rochedale legend.
Bank of Queensland, Windsor, and they've been absolutely superb with me. Really looked after the whole repayment, so the loans, they've frozen them. Credit card interest is going to be delayed.
Wow.
So look, we've been fortunate in my respect, but I would probably urge anyone with a small business or anyone who needs financial help to get yourself to Bank of Queensland, Windsor. Go and see Cruiser.
Give him a shout.
Yeah.
Tough times ahead. It's probably only going to get worse. So the faster the better. Probably.
Yeah. Sooner you get in there and see him, get yourself set up. I think it's probably going to be for the best. So yeah, Mark Cruz, Bank of Queensland, Windsor. Get yourself in and get sorted.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Carroll from Total Compression here. If you're like me and find yourself running for the fun of it during this isolation period, please jump across to www.totalcompression.com.au or our Facebook page at Total Compression and Instagram at Total Compression to get yourself an isolation pack.
This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions that belongs in a different galaxy altogether.
Hello and welcome to the Subs Bench quiz number 2. We had a crack last week with Chinga as the quizmaster, and it went reasonably well. I won the quiz, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I did. And
so I had your account back.
It's controversial though.
Nah,
we don't know they were accurate.
You came well last, apparently. Tonight we've got another guest quizmaster. I think he's just fell down. But Terry Kirkham's joined us, so we're over the moon to have TK on board, and he'll take us through the quiz in a little bit. But first, TK, we obviously spoke last week on the quiz about how isolation's treating us and what we're doing away from football a little bit. What about yourself? What you been up to?
Yeah, look, probably the same as everyone, trying to still manage a business and work, and but feeling it like everybody. Seeing my family and Joe, my partner's the same. We're separated from our families now, not seeing the kids, and socially. It's been quite difficult. I have to sit out the back, and John Old lives next to me. There's a fence in between us, and he sits on his side of the jail wall, and I sit on mine, and we've been socialising that way. But look, it's certainly tough, and also too, you've got to consistently think about the future and what's going on. So not easy times for everybody.
No, that's fair. And football wise, I'm assuming someone as passionate about the game as yourself is missing it.
Yeah, look, definitely. I've got to say that the last month, just not being around the boys and not being around the boys socialising, everyone having a kick and being involved in the game, is certainly something that you start to think about. If you take that away from what we all have, that would be the first thing that I actually currently miss. And the one thing about sport and the one thing about football is that it takes you away from everything else that you've got going on around you. And that's certainly something that I'm missing at the moment, like everybody.
What about you three? I don't think we've kind of touched upon this. I was talking to someone back home the other day who's involved in football, and I said to him, are you missing? He's a head coach, manager back home, I suppose you'd call it. And I said, I don't miss the games. I don't miss the pressure. I miss the lads. I miss the social interaction. I think that's what TK is saying. What about yourselves?
Yeah, definitely. I'm missing training, missing getting around the boys and having a bit of a laugh, and that sort of interaction with some blokes that aren't 3 years old and 1 year old.
Some blokes that seem like they have a similar sort of level of What's the word?
Well, I would.
You would say intellect, boy.
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah, my oldest one's probably got me covered, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been tough, eh?
Missed the banner, missed being around the boys, missed Sturge's sessions even. Fucking hell.
It's 4-hour sessions, yeah.
Yeah. It's even the group chat's not as lively anymore as well, which sort of sucks as well.
But you know what? Yeah, it's like every week you sort of look forward to that Tuesday, Thursday night, and at the moment, it's not there, and it's like, wow, just stay home again.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't have a lot of options, and that's how the world is right now. So you just got to deal with it. But definitely miss it.
I think it all blends into one. Done every day is the same.
Yeah.
I mean, the weekends definitely feel a little bit different, but
I didn't realise today was Sunday until about midday.
it's like that. It's a never-ending Christmas holiday without the presents in it.
Yeah. But the same amount of alcohol, funnily.
So, yeah, maybe a little bit more alcohol.
Yeah, I've done plenty of that.
It's because you're living next door to Johnny Old.
And trust me, that's one thing that hasn't gone missing each night. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, look, I tell you what. Let's get mucked into the quiz because I have a feeling it could be a good one. I know that you've been on this all day, Terry. So we've decided that we'll go with buzzers today. So we'll all just shout our name, 2 syllables. Should be nice and straightforward. And if there's a discussion to be had on each question, let's get involved.
Something
so,
else
Terry,
for us to argue about.
Take it away, Terry.
Right, boys, let's get it underway. In what year did the NPL system start in Queensland?
Gaffer,
Gaffer?
2012.
No.
Oh.
Tom Carroll?
2013.
Correct.
Fuck.
TC1.
I was hoping he was going to get it wrong, and I was just going to chime in with like 2014, maybe.
I was ready to
Yeah.
swoop.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you can ask the question because there was 2 states that didn't come into the system. So Victoria and I think Western Australia. So that didn't come into it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's right.
Forget
Who
about that.
won the league and who won the grand final in 2013 in the Queensland NPL?
Us.
Gaffer.
TC. Oh.
Gaffer.
Dusty had it, did he? Did Dusty have it? I thought.
Dusty, yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Are we?
Give it to Dusty.
All right.
Yeah, Dust. I think it was
Far away.
Grand
It's a
final.
No.
Grand final Olympic.
Yes. League.
Palm Beach.
Gaffer.
Gaffer.
Olympic.
Olympic won the double 2013. Correct. So we're going to give, we might give you half a point each.
Happy with that. I'm on the board.
Dusty half. Gaffer. Right. Number 3. In Queensland, name the father and son who have both become senior coaches of opposite clubs in Queensland, Brisbane football in the past, let's say 10 years.
Dust.
Oh,
Dusty.
God.
Liam and Sam Safe.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Come on.
Just to give you a couple of stats on that, by the way, it's not bad because, to be honest with you, in my career, I don't know too many father-sons that have gone through to become both senior coaches at the same time. But Liam wanted me to mention this just so Sammy could polish off Liam's medals. If he's got Sammy's won 2 leagues, 2011 and 14. He's won 3 grand finals, 09, 10, 12, all with Wynnum. Liam's won 2018 as a head coach. He's won 3 grand finals, and he's a Carina, and he's also won I think he's done a reserve team one as well. So fair play, obviously, to the Steve family. I reckon.
Yeah.
It's not a bad effort.
Not a bad effort.
And by then, they're both still going all right too, so they're both still around. Right, number 4, and obviously Liam will be for a while. Who was the Queensland developed Matilda that played 36 times for Australia and recently was coaching in the Ladies National Premier League system?
Ladies.
Yep.
This is where we struggle.
Head coach.
Improve.
Oh, I know this one, eh? Fuck, what's her name?
Fantastic lady.
Sounds like you don't know this one, Tom.
No, the name's on the tip of my tongue.
Is she still involved now?
TK also worked alongside her last year in both head coach roles?
Is it
Bombed out,
Meow.
Belinda Kitching.
Was that what was on the tip of your tongue, Tom? Or
You
Yeah.
should have known that, Dusty.
Oh, there you go. I thought I
Why
got to
should
throw
I
that
have
one
known?
in.
Geez, that was a good question, TK. Well done.
that's good.
In the past 10 years, we've had a number of prolific goal scorers. However, there are two that have been prolific in the last 10 years, and they both played in all levels, or not all levels, but the top levels of the Brisbane Premier League and also to the National Premier League. First things first, can you name them? And second thing is, if you can name the pair, who won more golden boots in the 10 years in the leagues between the two of them?
Nabby.
Oh,
I reckon one's got to be Tim Smith.
No.
Oh, you.
TC.
PC?
That's fine. I chimed in second, but you have it. Tom.
Oh, I thought it was then reset. Does it not reset?
You have it.
Is one Caddo
Yes.
and is the other one Brownlee?
Yes.
Good.
Okay,
And
so you
I'm
got those two right.
I'm
Now,
gonna
who won
say
more golden boots in the league, in their leagues between the two of them?
Brownlee.
Royce Brownlee tells me 5 today. Gato tells me 3. And it's a debatable point with Tim Smith because he was a prolific goal scorer.
Yeah.
But in my factor of NPL, BPL, Division 1, whatever.
I thought you were going with A League as well. That's why I went Smithy. I fucking jumped in too fast, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's all
I
right,
have
man.
got a
You gotta
question
listen to the
about
question,
A-League
mate.
stuff
You gotta
coming up.
listen. You gotta listen to the whole question now.
Just trying to get in there, boy. Get off the mark.
Right. Oh, okay, now that's the next one. Let's go to the next one. Right, so name the Queensland NPL players. Now, this is important. You understand this one? Name the Queensland NPL players. So the players that have played from 2013 to now who have played first-team football since 2013 in the A-League. So who have played first-team games, Queensland developed players or players that have played in the Queensland National Premier League and then go on to play first-team games in the A-League.
Is that Duft already?
There's 7 that I'm aware of.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I got
See, whoever gets the most.
Whoever gets the most.
I got Luke Pavlou.
Okay. Where's he from and when did he play?
I believe he played one game for the Raw. No,
Okay.
he played a couple games for the Raw, didn't he, Pav? But he come through at Olympic and East. And then he played for City in the NPL.
Yeah, he did. He did actually.
That's good. That's one that I've learned about today. Next one.
Are we all just jumping in with these?
Noise from the cheap seats favourite, Shannon Brady.
Shannon Brady, another one.
Oh, this is a jam, surely.
That's 2 that I haven't got. Who's Shannon Brady come from?
I don't know. I just know he played for the Raw.
Yeah, Raw. Yeah, I won't say it. I won't say it.
NPL. So he's come from NPL to the Raw.
Jai Ingham.
Oh, yeah. Giant.
Jay Ingham is correct. Jay Ingham went from the Olympic to the Raw. Then he obviously ended up having a bit of a career.
I was going to say James Meyer, but he went BPL, didn't he? He was
James
BPL.
Meyer was before 2010,
Yeah.
so before the NPL.
Dylan Wenzel-Halls.
Dylan Wenzel-Halls is obviously the most current one, correct?
Oscar Dillon.
Oscar Dillon, very correct,
good
Tom.
shout.
So we've got 2 on my list. So let's say we're all 1 apiece at the moment, or there's 1 with 2.
What about Whitey?
He never.
Did he play?
Brendan White, the keeper.
Matt Acton. No, he never played NPL.
Yeah,
Whitey.
Brendan White. Brendan
Yeah,
White.
Did he played for?
He went BPL, didn't he?
Matt
No, he
Acton
went.
He was
No,
red.
he was Redlands.
and Logan.
Brendan White.
Is that another one? Yeah.
That's another one, mate. There's a few I'm learning
Did
about
he play
here.
first team, though? Did he play first
Did he
team?
play
in the
first
league?
team?
Yeah, he played first team.
Yeah, all right.
For the Raw?
Yep.
Yeah, he played for the Raw.
Where did Crestani come through?
QAS.
QS.
QAS, yeah.
This is tough.
I know. This is a tough one.
How many we got left on your list?
Joe Champness? Joe Champness?
Yes, Joe Champness is 1, correct, Tommy. MBU, Raw Youth, and then to the Jets, 2017.
Need the
That
wrap up?
Courtney Perkins.
Fuck. Fucking hell, we tried to sign him this year.
Isaac Powell.
Nah.
The boy from North Queensland. I could look in my phone, his number would be there.
No.
Braden.
Hinman.
No.
Kelly.
Fuck.
I know who you're talking about.
He's-
Powell tried to sign that many players.
He's playing in northern New South Wales now.
Yeah, Braden Crowley.
Yeah,
Crowley.
Braden Crowley.
Crowley
Rocky
played for
boy.
Newcastle.
Yeah, he played
Townsville.
for
Rocky and Townsville, yeah.
he played for Melbourne City.
Yeah.
So we went from where? Townsville.
North Queen. Is that another one, TK?
That's another one.
Did he play for Newcastle in the A-League as well?
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
that
He
where
used
he
that
started?
field from about
That's where he
half
started.
Yeah.
metre out.
Yeah.
I'm just getting all this information for future when I start building another team. Thanks, boys.
Next quiz.
How many have we got to
You
get?
got Harrison
Harry-
Sawyer.
Harry Sawyer? Yeah.
Harry Sawyer. You got Harry Sawyer.
Did
You
he
got
play in
another
the
boy.
A-League?
You got another boy, Ben Lifton
I said
from the
that.
early days.
I said that.
Did you?
Did you
Sorry.
say that,
Yeah.
Nab?
None of us heard it, Nab.
Who'd
So
Ben
played
Lifton
that.
play for?
Raw,
In the
didn't he?
A-League?
No,
I said that.
Ruben Wade played off the bench in one game.
Wellington Phoenix.
Groups.
He did. Not your
Josh
boy,
South.
Rube.
South from Moreton Bay to Wellington Phoenix.
The best looking bloke in the NPL.
Yeah, he's still got the best haircut. All right, anyway, I'll move on
That's the
from that
least of
one.
his
I just
worries.
wanted to get that information, but well done, boys. That was good.
Jeez, that was another
Good question,
good
that.
question. Another good
So,
question.
but by the way, I've worked out there's roughly, say, 11, 12 players. When you actually think about it, since 2013, we've produced through the NPL League 12 players to go to the A-League that we can all come up with. I spoke to a number of people today, and coaches and boys that have played in the A-League, and they didn't come up with some of the names that you guys have come up with. So there you go. Interesting
And then-
question.
Before
There
that,
is
all
one
the
for you.
QAS boys that went on to play professionally.
Yeah,
as well.
I'll throw
100%.
one.
Yeah, I didn't touch the QAS boys, but
I'll throw one at you then, TK. If we've got 12, 13
Yeah.
in 8 year, so you're talking, my maths about 1.5 a year, between 1 and 2 a year. Is that enough?
it's not good enough.
Nah.
So I've got there's something else for you too, and just some and on some stats. But I asked today about when Queensland Raw first played in the A-League. Now I was commentating for Melbourne Victory for 2.5 years, so I got to see the first 2.5 years of the A-League evolve as a commentator on the radio and stuff. And I remember the Queensland team was all Queensland players. Miron Blyberg was the coach. Well, today I asked for 15 players of the first year of the A-League of the Raw, and I got given 12 Queensland players. And then so when you look at that, a lot of Queensland people, and then go to today's teams in the last couple of years, and what are we down to? Maybe 2 players currently in the system. Really no coaches. So,
Yeah.
it sort of goes to show you my view, not being pointed or anything like that, but, after working in the system up here for the last 13 or 14 years and the start of the NPL, I think it's disappointing and those numbers show it. But hats off to those boys, and those boys really should be more well-known, in my opinion, in Queensland, and more well-marketed than what they currently are.
Yeah, and there's others as well who have skipped the A-League and they've gone overseas or
100%.
elsewhere and have done well for themselves. So well done to all.
Yep. No, that's right. Now, so the next question is, moving on to that one. How many Queensland referees produced in the last 10 years have gone on to become A-League referees?
TC. I'm going to go Alex King. Is Chris Beath Queenslander?
Yep.
Jared Gillett.
Yep.
His brother, the other
Yep.
Gillett.
Matthew Gillett.
Yep.
Is this just the centre refs or everyone?
Centre refs. Alan Milner.
Milner, yeah, that's all I've got.
Milner.
Can't think of anything else.
Then, so you've done well.
Adam Kersey.
Kersey was the one I was thinking. I was about to say David Weeby, but
No.
no.
What about any of the girls? Have any of the girls done that? No,
Not,
not yet.
not centrally, not that I'm aware of.
Not central, yeah.
And before all them, Mark Shield, Rocky Boy.
Mark Shields, Rocky Boy, yeah. Rocky Ref and, hey, we're everywhere.
Wesley Hall final to the bloody World Cup.
we've produced 6 referees,
Yep.
but we've also produced 5 assistant referees.
Dust.
So in total, Queensland's produced 11 officials that have gone all the way through.
Yeah.
But I can't start to raffle the names off because we'll be here all night.
I know Ashley
Yeah.
Beecham and Joey Lee. I know
Beecham,
they're a couple.
There's a few of them. A few of
Nathan
the
McDonald.
yeah.
Nathan
there's a few of
McDonald.
them.
Yeah.
Nathan McDonald's gone through.
Is Milner still kicking around somewhere? Is
No,
he
he
still
retired.
No.
He retired.
Yeah, no, he's retired. And he's still around, still chatting a bit. He still keeps an eye on what's going on. And
Mate, I reckon one of the funniest interactions I've had with referees, Caxton, after that Royal Grand Final where they beat Perth, and Jared Gillett gave that last minute penalty for Borussia to score the winner.
Oh, that's right.
And we bumped into, there was Milner and Weeby, and there was one other, but I can't remember who it was, at the Caxton. And I had a good chat with Al Milner. We chatted for ages and we were all fine. And then David Weeby, he was maggot and he's hanging over his shoulder the whole time, swaying around all over the place. I think he got tossed out like 20 minutes after, but I'll always remember that.
well, he got a red card.
Red card.
Red card.
Blues won't be happy with that one.
It was pretty funny. Second only to the time he got the ball to the face when we played at Rochedale that day, and he had to go down for 5 minutes for a break.
Refs, eh?
Yeah, refs.
Different breed.
I like them all, mate. All of the refs.
Oh,
I
here we
like.
go. Here we go.
That's funny, Ben. They talk about you too, mate. It's pretty funny. So, right, so here's the next one. In the FFA Cup history in Australia, short history, but it's a history. Name 2 brothers that have coached against each other in Australia in an official FFA Cup game.
Dust.
I think Nab's got that one.
Is it the Pittick brothers?
Correct.
That's one.
You got 2, Nabs. You got another one.
You're on 2 now. I hope you keep this because I'm trying to. But that's a fair point too. You know, in Queensland, we've got the 2 dads coaching. We've got 2 brothers as well. The top league's pretty good.
Mm.
Right. Name the NPL ladies coach or the NPL women's coach of the NPL 2019 Coach of the Year.
Dust.
Nope.
Karen Longbottom.
Correct. Eastern suburbs.
Well done, Dust.
Nice.
Thank you. Shout out, Karen. How you going?
Our
It's
women's football.
almost a tap in for you, that though, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it was.
I was there. I remember it well.
Like yesterday.
How many questions is that, TK?
No, this is your last question.
Yep.
Tom Carroll. This is off the cuff, this question.
Yep.
Tom Carroll released the TC range of clothing in 2000 and, I don't know, 15. When was it, Tommy?
Yeah, about 2015.
5 years ago, yeah.
What colour underwear is Tom Carroll wearing at the moment?
Dust. Pink and frilly.
Gaffer.
Nah.
Grey.
Navi. Nuttin.
Correct.
Oh.
And if we're in a later time slot, I'll give you a look.
Well, we brought out the TC long sock, remember, at Olympic event?
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
TC cock sock it was called.
Yeah. He designed me a cock sock. I might have to rip that out actually. Try and get the prototype made.
Would have been extra small.
Yeah, it was extra small, yeah.
Right, boys, there's your quiz.
Who won? Wasn't me, I know that.
No, I've actually sort of got half the numbers down, but I actually gave it to let me think about it. Not you, Tommy Carroll.
I feel hard done by.
Me or Nab?
Yeah, it's got to be me. Right? What's that last
Yeah,
one? Me.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Nab, you
I
spoke
reckon you
twice
got
the
you
whole
on
time.
2.5s.
Yeah.
Oh, we're drawn.
No, you're drawns.
Oh,
That's all right. I'll take that.
Rock off or a.
I've gone on 0.5s.
Is there a tiebreaker?
yeah. Give us a
yeah,
tiebreaker. Okay, get one out for the boys.
Get one out and give us a tiebreaker.
Oh, you want a tiebreaker?
Yeah,
Who says
tiebreaker.
Guernsey more?
All right, I'll give you a tiebreaker question.
Here we go.
Make it Pacific.
The point system. How many points in the NPL this year are the teams allowed to have?
25.
No.
250, sorry.
No,
25.
it's between 160 and 180.
175.
No,
176.
no.
Or
162.
lower?
161.
178.
160.
Unlimited.
Depends what club you're at, I suppose. If we're talking about power, that's
170 is the answer.
sombrero.
I said
170,
170.
is it?
I said 170.
Nah, you keep saying that you said all these things, but no
Get
one's
it
hearing.
on. Get it on
Hey.
record.
It's all right, because I'll be watching it back
Yeah.
when I cut this all up. So I'll be able to find out.
That was
If
me.
you, I tell you what, here's one for you. You're confident you said 170. All right?
Yep.
If you didn't say 170,
Benny's got the Boydo point on. I like this.
you've got to get a bonehead.
Yeah. What's
We
the,
got 170, so we got a winner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
We'll give
reckons
it to
he's-
Nabby for now,
you reckon
but if
he's
he's
got it.
if he's lying, he's gonna have to shave his head off this
check the
week.
VAR, Benny.
I said 170.
I'm just glad. I
Yeah,
didn't-
boys, there's your quiz. Now, I thought that because it's my first time on, I thought I've got to keep the quiz pretty straightforward.
No, it's good.
You happy with
That's
that
good.
one?
It's what we
That was
want.
good.
That's bloody good, mate.
Nice, breezy, something to think about, something to discuss, and then it still leaves us with about 15 minutes where we can just have a little bit of chit
Bit of
chat.
chat.
How did your season start? Did you get a game in?
Yeah, look, we did. We
We won the cup. I know that.
league. Yeah, no, we did well. We started really well, and I was massively confident for a very, very, very good, productive season this year. But yeah, I got to admit, to be honest with you, with the team that I put together and a great young side, I'm massively disappointed that we're not going to get to go through and have a good crack this year. And
Yeah.
you know, to be honest with you now, to see all these young boys sitting around, like everyone, but for me personally, you know, I took a big gamble but I knew I could build a good young side, and they've been, since November, the improvement of them was just unbelievable. And yeah, our first game, the FFA Cup game, you know, we played Taringa and we were really good. But the next week, in our first game at Newmarket, we were fantastic. And you know, and this team, no doubt, before the end of the year, would be competing at the top end of the QPL. And yeah, you know, I was really disappointed not to get any more games in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facilities out there.
I
Sorry.
know that,
Good facilities. They've got the good facilities out there now, don't they?
Yeah, look, they have. You know, and the club off the field is just, mate, financially and sound and stable. It's an unknown club, and you can see when the council go and stick $3 million into the facilities, you know that the council's backing the operations and the people behind the club, and that was another thing that was an attraction to me. But I got to say, yeah, look, it's definitely a place that can definitely bring something to Brisbane football and Queensland football in the future. That's for sure.
didn't we play there, Nabby?
Yeah.
The first when it just finished the new, it's Samford Parklands, I think it's called, and it was we played there in a pre-season when it was literally just being laid, and it was like a carpet, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it
I've
Holland
never-
Park or Albany Creek, or did we play there 2 years in a row? Maybe.
I thought we played out there, but I also played for Annerley back in the day as well when they just finished it, and it was quality then. They were building it then.
Yeah.
Hotels
Yeah.
set up then.
Better
Well,
than the old
since-
place, isn't
since-
it? Fucking hell.
Since you guys have been there, with the first game that the round 2 of the league was the opening of all the new pitch and all the new facilities, and
Yeah.
so there's a brand new pitch now out the back. It's a 12-month-a-year pitch. It's been built like Caboolture's ground.
Yeah.
Water tanks are all under the car parks, and the best of the lights, and it's laser level to drain water, and you can play on it at any time. And you know, it really is that you've got 2 first-class senior grounds there now that can be playable any time during the year, and all brand new facilities. And
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's and it's not that far. You know, everyone sort of says, "Oh, Samford's far." Well, you know, I can tell you, I was leaving my office in the CBD and going out there at 5:30. I'm saving me 25, 30 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that's not that bad.
It's a
It's
bloody
not
lovely
that
part
bad.
of the world as well.
It
It is
nice
a big
part.
part of the world. Is there much competition out there, TK, for like other clubs, like juniors and stuff, or not really?
Look, you know, there's a couple of clubs around, but really you sort of, you know, you got Pine Hills, and you're sort of more up to Pine Hills, Albany, Creek. You know, they're sort of more competing up there. There's big numbers down there, and it's a community-based type of a club, and you know, I think the biggest thing is, probably one of the disappointments for the area is there's a number of boys there that just haven't been able to play in the NPL, and I've got a very, very good young side, and before the end of the year, there's going to be 4 or 5 boys that could play NPL next year, but no one knows about them, and they've all gone to under 18s and under 20s. There's 5 or 6 of them that I've coached through that have come through sort of under me in younger years that are now 22, 23, and hopefully the club can produce, you know, one of these boys to be a top line NPL player in the next 1 to 2 years, and I think that's really what the club, you know, would love to see as well.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Had a good shot.
That's going to be a competitive division. Is that right? There's you could say 6 or 7 teams who would probably fancy their chances.
Yeah. Look, I think, look, Karina, you know, I've been, you know, just watching what's going on there, and look, there's a lot of good players floating around in these lower leagues, isn't there? Like, really, and
Yeah, there is. There really is.
and
Bit
there's
of
a lot
bad
of
blood
players.
between Samford and Carina as well.
Yeah, there's been a lot of history between the two, and the only good thing, as I said, for me, is that I'm dealing with a young bunch of boys that are turning up and they're going at 10 million miles an hour, and you know, and I've been really, you know, really happy, you know, to work with the boys. It's not like I'm turning up and I've got some older guys that are just rocking in and out when they need to or when they want, or, you know, missing because of work or whatever. You know, the boys and the culture there is, you know, really good.
Do they all live locally?
Most of them do, correct?
Majority?
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't really brought too many in. So you know, Michael McAvoy's come in, but he lives not far, just down the road, and so really all the boys are local. And I picked up an existing bunch, and yeah, of course, a couple had to be moved on because of the culture and whatever. But the club wants to go to the Brisbane Premier League, and they're not really ambitious yet for NPL, and that the money and all that sort of thing's a problem for them. But you know, they're certainly ambitious to be in a Brisbane Premier League and be a strong Brisbane Premier League club and produce players and produce results.
Is Macca helping out on the coaching side of things? I know he did a little bit of that with was it Caboolture with Walker? Look, moving in that direction.
Yeah, that's one thing that is with me. So I'm you know, sort of starting to steer him through while he's playing. Yeah, and you know, so just getting him things organised with structures for warm-ups and various things and leadership roles on the ground. And certainly he's around now all the planning. So he's around all my planning and he's seeing what's happening behind the scenes a lot. So, I mean, I brought him in to see a lot of that. Paul Brownlee's probably doing a lot more, you know, a lot more development coaching work. And I'm working with Paul now more on how to manage game days and, you know, team talks and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, look, these are two guys that are going to be in the next 5 years coaching in our system. And, you know, I look at all the coaches now, the players I've seen come through the leagues, Warren Moon, McNichol, Royce Brownlee, Nathan Walker, Aaron Felt, you know, all these boys that have gone through. And we've produced a lot, and or the state has. And, you know, and I'm sure there's probably a couple more around, but there's more on the way. And you know, I'm just lucky that I've had a lot to do to coach a lot of these sorts of boys. But it's great from my side of things as a young coach in my day and as a player that had a lot of injuries to become a young coach and come all the way through and now see so many good players become senior coaches, do their badges, do their licenses, and coaching at top levels.
I know that when I went to Albany Creek, it must have been 2013, because one of the things that they kind of sold, well, they didn't have to sell Albany Creek. The facilities spoke for themselves at the time, and it was BPL, and I was going from Cap 1. But one of the things they did say was, look, we got Terry Kirkham with Moreton Bay. It's it's not the same club, but it's the same base. And you got him who you can tap into and things like that. And we had maybe 2 or 3 little chats in that 3 or 4 month period at the start of the year. But I ended up leaving halfway through the season. It wasn't for me, that job. But yeah, I'd start to pick up little things off just some of the things you were saying, and I'm sure that a few of the lads who've come through have probably picked things up as well.
Yeah, look, it's the coaching game is an interesting path, and there's a lot of people that have knowledge of the game. Lots of people have opinions of the game. Lots of people have knowledge of the game after the games, and and I can tell you now that through my career, I've coached in Melbourne, I've coached up there, I've been able to see, I've been able to do a lot, and the game's been fantastic for me. I look at it now and go, I'm 50 this year, and I got told at 16, 17 and 19 I'd never play again. And the game's kept me in it for so long, just from starting coaching the juniors. And now when I see these young guys coming through, and you guys are the same, you're getting involved now, you're in the media, the game is what you put into it. To become a coach and especially go through to the NPL, never mind if you get a crack at the top league, and hopefully some young coaches get a shot to go to the top league and become full-time professionals. It's a difficult thing because, you all know you've got to spend time at home. It's pressure and you've got to get results. And not everyone's going to make a coach. And we've got a lot of good coaches coming through, and a lot of coaches can go out and kick a ball. And I think the biggest thing is that when we've got boys who can go out and kick a ball and say they've played the game and they can coach at senior level, that allows them to go back into junior level and get a lot of respect. And it's only going to help the game with more education. And I think we're in a very, very good place, and a very good, healthy place with future coaches coming through to keep the coaching, arena strong. And let's face it, boys. Let's look at it. The managers and the coaches of today in the NPL, they're not in their 50s and they're not in their 60s. The majority of the boys are in their 30s.
Yeah.
I came through in my 30s and into the 40s, and we don't have a lot of older coaches now. We've got a lot of younger coaches, and that's just great for the game.
Yeah.
Is there any players, TK, you've had over the past maybe 10 years that you think are going to go on to make good coaches?
Oh, look, yeah. Well, look, as I said, I just look at let's look at some of the ones that are already there now. So, I've been lucky to coach Mooney and Scott McNichol. I had nothing to do with their careers, but I've been able to coach them. I think probably where I've done well is I've been able to go and hand pick and sign players that I've identified that are players that could come in and do jobs for me when I've needed to build teams. And I look at all the players that are now become coaches, and all those players that played in teams that I've coached, and I've had the choice to either sign them, get rid of them, or keep them. And all those boys have done well in teams that I've been able to coach. And I sit back personally, no one else will worry about it, but I sit back personally and watch games and watch who's coaching. And I'm quite proud that in my own right that I've got to coach a lot of those boys playing, and now see them coaching as senior coaches. And by the way, I've coached against most of them too. And for me, that gives you a bit of a spark.
Yeah, just touching up before we finish up the recording. I just want your thoughts on the strength. We're talking about good young coaches coming through, and I think that stands Queensland in good stead down the track. I just want to throw out, because I know that you've got an opinion on it, and that's why I'm asking the question. The strength of the competition at this moment in time, in comparison, say, to a Victoria where you've obviously been involved as well. Just give us a rundown on your thoughts on the strength of the competition.
Look, the FFA Cup sort of gives you one thing, and it shows that we can produce a couple of good teams up here to go and be competitive. The NPL final system has shown that especially with Lions, that we've been able to produce a team. But you've got to remember that the budget systems and the way that the game is played down south to Queensland's a totally different ballgame. And, when you go down south, you have a number of things to deal with, a number of things of big budgets. The players are paid a lot more, and they can be a lot more professional where they don't have to necessarily work. Two, a lot of the clubs are culture driven, and they're down in Melbourne, and a lot of the clubs are ethnically culture driven. So, you can go down there and be in a Turkish background, you can be in an ex-Croatian background. Yes, times are changing, but they're still there. In Queensland, we don't have that. In Queensland, for me, we could produce 3 or 4 excellent teams that would compete in Melbourne. I think we're overstretched with the league. It's too big. I think if the league was back to, 8, 10 teams maybe, we'd be much stronger. And the NPL system for me is we're not signing and we're not developing the best kids in Queensland. It's become a money game. The kids that are getting signed to come through from under 12s to under 18s to under 20s are asked to pay exorbitant amounts of money. I've had a number of players I would have loved to have signed and loved to have given contracts and given chances at under 18, under 20s level, and even to come into the first team in the future. I haven't been able to sign them because they haven't been able to pay fees. And, when I grew up and when I came through the system, I was picked to go to the state leagues at 15, 16 at senior level, reserve team senior level, because I was good enough. Not because my mum and dad could pay, it's because I was good enough. And that era produced, many, many, many good players. Today now, it's a fact. We've got a lot of good kids playing around, but they can't get into the NPL system or the academy system or the raw system maybe in some ways because, it's become too cost effective. And that for me is the downside of the league. And if you want to ask about it being strong, the Brisbane Premier League for me, when I came up 2007, halfway through the season to Peninsula, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, the Brisbane Premier League was massively strong. Very, very strong. The 2009 team, 2010 of Rochedale, there was, you had all these good teams. Don't forget Brisbane Strikers were in the QSL. They were full strength. We had a lot of good teams and a lot of strong teams. Money wasn't the issue. Points wasn't the issue. It was pick the best players. The coaches, the clubs work with what you've got. And for me, it was much stronger, much tougher. And money wasn't a factor. Unfortunately for me in 2020, 19, 18, 17, money has, in my opinion, lowered the standard of the game. But don't get me wrong. Please don't anyone take offence. The boys work hard. I've worked in the NPL since it started. Everyone works hard, trains hard. There's some great football being played. Some good players. Coaches have got better. Tactically, we've got better. We're fitter. But do I think it could be stronger? Yes, but we need to bring the league back down to 10 teams and make the team strong and make the Brisbane Premier League or the QPL and everywhere else, stronger down there. But that's just my view.
So how's the week been, boys? Up to much?
Staying indoors.
Staying indoors, are you?
Keeping isolated.
Keeping that isolation.
Just trying to sell a house, mate, and it's a bad time.
Yeah, nightmare.
Mr. Cell Team, maybe.
No, it's not.
Josh and Jake and the boys.
It's not. But I'm beginning to wish I had gone with Mr. Cell Team.
Probably
to be honest. Yeah, I know they're backed by the fastest growing real estate brand in the country, and the marketing.
Freedom Property Group, I believe.
You know a bit about real estate, don't you, Dust?
I know a little bit about it, yeah. I probably would have gone with Mr. Cell Team if I was you, but...
Well, the thing is as well with them, I kick myself now because I know that the attention to detail is 100% spot on. They'll go above and beyond to get a result for you. If you've got a property and you want a tenant, they can probably help you get one. Did you know that?
Lease, they'll sell, they'll find you something to buy.
Yeah.
Really? That's what I've heard.
They pretty much do everything, mate.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know all that. Now it's too late. I've gone with someone else.
How was that experience?
I don't think it was as good as if I'd went with the cell. I'm being honest.
I'm sure Joshy and Jake and the boys will get you sorted.
I'll be waiting in the wings in case that one.
So look, I think what I would say is, if anyone is in the market, looking to sell, looking to buy, looking to rent, hit up the Mr. Cell team. Josh Sherwood, Jake Sherwood, any of the boys. Well, look, we'll call this a day for this recording, but I think we'd all agree we'd probably love to get you in when all this is over. We can get you in the studio. We can have a proper yarn about different things that are going on. Your opinions obviously are they're forthright, but they come with experience, I think. And I think it'd be a good show if we can get you in.
Yeah, and look, boys. To be fair to what you guys are doing, it's fantastic. I had the discussions with Robert Blanche many years ago when I first came up from Melbourne, and I said, they've just started putting on a television show in Melbourne. And I was telling him about that, and I go, that's what you guys need to do with the Brisbane Premier League, get something going. And Blanchy and Paulie TV and these guys have found the Rafe Griffiths have come through. All these guys come through and started the media, and now you guys have taken it to another level with, what you're doing with the COVID stuff and using technology. And And, you know, and I've watched a lot of your stuff and listened to it as well, the podcast. And, you know, and boys, hats off to you. And you know what? This is what the game needs. And it needs positive spins coming from, not from mainstream media. You guys are coming from the local leagues and you know, and fair play to you and well done.
Cheers, Tara. I think the one thing I would say to that is we enjoy doing it as well. It's a bit of crack. We get to get people like yourself on and lads who we coach and play against and just have a bit of a laugh, have a couple of drinks at the same time. It's a bit of good fun, really. So
At the moment,
it is the highlight of the weekend. Saturday night I got the quiz with the couples, but Sunday night that's when it's on. I get the boys talking funny. So
Win betting.
what's that?
Still didn't get the W, but
I got the W last night. That was
Benny,
more important to me.
Get this result on count back too. By the way,
Yeah, I'm going to check his answers.
Let's investigate that because Nabby was just doing a lot of fist pumping down there, and I'm not too sure if the answers were coming out. But
I will.
You know what?
Look, again, thanks TK. We'll be in touch anyway, and when the season gets started, if it does, good luck with Samford. But we'll have you in the studio anytime.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, boys. Well, available anytime. And yeah, gee whiz, if we get going this year, I'd be amazed. And you know, let's just hope that something happens and we're all back at football sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. All
Thanks,
right,
mate.
cheers.
Thank you. All good.
See you, boys.
Love you,
Cheers, boys.
Love you, TK.
Ciao.
Love you.
Tommy.
Love you.